But the funny part was we were sitting in the lounge and I heard the BM reversing. Like, you could hear an automatic car reversing like, vroom, vroom. But then I could hear my mom in the kitchen and I'm like, it's only us here. So I turn around and I go to my dad. I'm like, Papa, who's driving the car outside? My dad, I don't know, man. It was like clockwork. He was like, eh? Like clicked that the car's moving outside.
What's up, guys? It's Miguel from the Creative Blockman Podcast, and we're back with another episode. The guest that I have today is a guest that I haven't known for too long, but I actually I wouldn't say known, but he's been in a lot of our ears for quite some time. He's a car lover, coffee lover, sneakerhead. I said to Katie earlier today that I think we were separated at birth, actually, because same interests. I love coffee. I love cars. I love sneakers. And yeah, it's none other than Jacob Moshokoa. So welcome.
Thank you, Migs. What's happening, bro?
In beautiful Cape Town.
Yes, my new hometown.
Your new hometown. Thank you so much for taking time just out of your day. I always say to every guest, I know this is going to add more value to my podcast than probably to you. So I really do appreciate you taking your time. Like, I really do. It's not just something I take lighthearted, because I know time is everything nowadays. And it's a Saturday, guys. It's a day where you're meant to be relaxing and chilling, but you're here. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure, bro. No stress at all.
So yeah, I think the first thing I always like to do is I try and introduce you as best as I can. It wasn't that great, but we get there. So what I like to do with most guests is tell us about yourself, right?
Dude, that was an amazing intro, right? I love that. Like, I think you did a fantastic job. You need to pat yourself on the back, first of all.
I try.
That's it. So yeah, my name is Jacob Moshokoa. I'm in my late 30s. I love cars. In fact, I grew up loving cars. My world revolves around cars. But before the cars, there was a radio as well. Worked in radio many, many years, about 15 years as well. Radio was the initial love, or the main love, and that sort of got me into the cars. Those are the main things that I do now, radio and cars. I'm very fortunate to be doing cars as a full-time gig. It used to be a side hustle, but now it's the main hustle. And when I do cars, I mean test driving cars for the Cars.co channel, a pretty big channel on YouTube. I was always helping them out. And now I'm like a full-time guy there, or full-time guy here. We're at the Cars.co facility in Cape Town, a great place to be.
I'm going to cut you off there quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you as well to Cars.co, because this is next level. Like, it's like that again. We also really appreciate it. It's really nice that we can just come here and see the place. It's beautiful.
Man cave.
Thank you. Yeah, well, man cave. This man cave goals. Like, this is the dream man cave. Yeah, this is amazing. But carry on. I just want to cut you off. For 2 seconds.
Like I said, cars are the thing, man, and you can call me a old school car collector as well. Love classic old cars. I'm a boyfriend. I am also a brother. Got siblings as well. Both my parents, all my siblings are still in Joburg. And then I do a lot of side hustles. So I'm also a hustler. You could call me that. I think that gives a great context of who I am in most of the angles. And I'm sure we'll dive in. We'll get to dive in as we go along.
First, though, what I really want to touch on, because you said car lover. I'm always have been a car lover. I think the first time I fell in love with a car is I was maybe about 8 or 9 years old. My brother took me to a car wash. He wanted to look at an E36 M3. Oof. Bro, when I saw that thing, I get goosebumps still to this day. I'll never forget. It was that purple blue. Like dark purple blue. It was German spec. Oh, bro, that was the first time I fell in love with cars.
That's when you understood
That's
cars.
when I knew. I looked at it and I was like, holy shit. Like, I literally have goosebumps. Like, still love that car to this day. What was that car for you? Where did where you looked at a car or whatever it was that made you realize, like, wait a minute, I actually love this stuff?
Wow.
If you can think back to it.
Very good question. But I think the earliest memory was the year 1994. I was in grade 2. That tells you how old I am.
Not that old.
My dad had an E30, a 320i 4-door E30 black bumper. Was automatic. It was a fantastic car. He loved that car. And I remember the one morning we were staying in Diepkloof, Soweto. I was waiting for my school transport to come pick me up. My dad was having his morning coffee, watching the news. And what he used to do was he'd start his car up in the morning in the garage and let it idle. And then after watching the main news bulletin, head into his car and head to work. But the funny part was we were sitting in the lounge and I heard the BM reversing. Like, you could hear an automatic car reversing like, vroom, vroom. But then I could hear my mom in the kitchen and I'm like, it's only us here. So I turn around and I go to my dad. I'm like, Papa, who's driving the car outside? My dad, I don't know, man. It was like clockwork. He was like, hey? Like clicked that the car's moving outside. And reaches literally he's standing and he's drinking his coffee and then puts the coffee down, grabs his gat, pulls out his gun, runs out. Dude, I'm watching through the window and people are shooting at my dad. My dad is shooting back. The guy in the passenger
is like a
seat,
movie.
I'm like, Dad, and the guy in the passenger seat is shooting at my dad and the BM is pulling out, the driver's pulling out. I'm like, this is like a movie, dog. And obviously my dad then went to the garage, took cover, they reversed and they drove away. But everything works so fast. It's like at that point in time, our back opposite neighbor was driving a Jetta 2 CLI 16 valve. And he comes around the corner and he says, hey, Mr. Moshokoa, what's going on? My dad is like, he's like, jump in, let's go. My dad jumps into the passenger seat of the 16 valve. It takes off and it flies, dude, like it drives, bro. I'm still trying to explain to my mom what happened. It's neighbors are out, they heard gunshots. Anyway, my dad goes on this drive. A few minutes later, my transport comes to pick me up. I have to go to school, So then I come back home and my mom explains the entire story for me. My dad's not there. He had to go to the police station, report a car. First time experiencing a hijacking. My dad was technically hijacked, you could say, right? And I know how much my dad loved that car. I knew how much he loved the car. But in the evening when he came home, he was like, I'm so happy no one's hurt. Insurance will pay. Yeah. Like, it's all right. Yeah. Then he goes, but that CLI 16 valve, yamavimela though. And now me and my older brother are like, yeah. And it's like, what happened? Then he's like, do you know how fast that car was? Yes, we didn't catch those guys, but damn, I've always been a BM man. That's what my dad says. But after driving passenger in a 16V, I think that's the car I'm going to get next. And damn. God doing his most amazing work. About a month or so later, my dad came home with a CLI 16 valve and he took us for a spin with that car. And for me, that's when I was like, okay, I like cars. Because my dad was so impressed with that. Like, he was so impressed with that car. Driving it, long distance, holidays with that car. Every single memory from there on revolved around that car. And that's when I knew, you know what? I like cars. I really, really like cars. It's not just a like from a small perspective. And ever since then, I mean, cars were always the main factor for you, whether you're at school. I mean, I knew what cars my teachers were driving at school. I gave a damn about a car. I cared about a car. But my dad taught me how to wash cars. Like, I always cared. And you never thought or never think that it's going to be something. But I'm fortunate to say, like, it somehow evolved to this, where my life revolves around cars, literally.
On that note, guys, thanks for tuning in. We're done, because there's really not, like, that story on its own is insane. So yeah, tune into the next episode, guys. Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Bro, that is insane. Like,
yeah, that's the story, man.
I was about to say, like, you said it. Well, no, you didn't say it. I was going to say in my mind, I was like, this is like GTA. Your dad was a GTA character. For like a few minutes in his life, he was a GTA character.
Literally.
That is crazy. And that's what I love about cars, is you can always link a certain car to a memory.
Yeah.
no matter what anybody says. Like you'll always be able to link a certain car to a certain memory. You know, you did this or you experienced this in this car, etc., etc. Have you driven a Jetta recently?
16V? No, not recent, but it is on my bucket list for the collection.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's something you need to work on. Like, if you could do a video of that,
dude,
that would be insane.
Mix, I'm always working on the next car.
Yeah.
Right now, I was in Joburg this past week. I went to go look at 3 different cars.
Okay.
My head revolves around the next car. What's my next project?
What's the next car then, bro?
Oof.
This is one of Jacob's babies. Oh, guys, this thing is so clean. This is why, again, like you might be thinking to yourself, how are we going to like discuss art and stuff like that on this podcast? Look at this. You can't tell me this is not art. That pinstripe was painted, and you can see how like clean it looks. Like, again, it's art. You know what I mean? That's it. Art.
It is art.
So what's the next car?
Oh man. As long as my girlfriend's not going to see this.
Please close your laptop now. What's your girlfriend's name?
Oh gosh, I told my girlfriend I'm doing this podcast. Now she's excited to see this podcast. But now I'm releasing secrets here that I'm not supposed to release.
Okay, we'll talk about it off. No, we have to talk about it. I'm sorry.
So let me tell you, all these cars also have a memory to it, a some attachment to it, right? So when I was in high school, 2002, 2003, BMW launches E46 M3. Down the road from me, where we stayed, there was this young Muslim guy. I never ever learned his name. We used to call him Dude.
Dude.
Yeah. It was just Dude.
It's a good way. It's like nowadays, if you don't know a guy's name, hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
Doing, bro?
Hey, blood. So, Dude, he was young. You know a young guy. He's a gent. Get out, you know? He had a silver E46 M3 with a 19-inch diamond cut wheels. His car was SMG, not the manual. But the way that guy used to drive that car, my man, there was no better way. So he stayed less than 200 meters from where we stayed. But when he's coming up the road, you could hear E46, that tin sound. That raspy tin sound of the 46, right? And I remember it was always like you'd hear it and you go to the nearest window, whether it's the bathroom window, the dining room window, then at the bottom of the gate, I'll just see it go, I'll see it go past. Sometimes we were chilling outside, we were playing outside, and you could hear him coming. And we knew his days, we even knew his clock.
Damn.
If it was school holidays, chances are we'd be outside. And we know 12 o'clock on a Friday, Muslim guys go for Juma. He doesn't drive that car Monday to Thursday. I mean, it's his weekend car. So he used to drive an Isuzu double cab. His wife had an X5 4.8 IS, right? And that was his toy, right? Now imagine these cars are brand new at the time, dude. So that was how this guy was living. He had a nice house down the road, and this was his car from Friday. So Fridays he never went to work or to his shop or whatever he used to do. But 12 o'clock, 5 to 12, 46 comes out. You hear it, dude. You hear it. And I remember the one day we were playing outside. We were chilling outside, and it was 10 to 12 on a Friday. And we just heard that sound coming up the road. So me and my buddy were like, here's Makan. Yes, dude. We used to call him Makan, dude. And he used to come down the road. And he would bang his car, dude. And sometimes he'd be banging the car, but he's on the phone. And like he's taking care of business. Like I'm going to Moscow. I'm going to go fetch my kid. Or I'm taking care of business on the phone. And sometimes he would notice us. Sometimes he wouldn't give a damn about us. But this particular day wasn't on his phone. I think it was that I'm connecting with my car today. And he was banging this SMG, dude. He was banging this SMG so hard that when he hit the road and he went up, right? We smelled tar. You could smell, rubber. And I'm like, that car's SMG. That means it's spinning each and every gear as he's going up. 3rd gear, 4th gear up, and he hits it up. And I remember saying back then, one day when I'm big, I'm going to buy 46. So 2 days ago, I went to go look at 2 E46s. I'm going in it with my younger brother. So my brother went to go see the E46 again today. So he couldn't go because he was at work. He went to go see it this morning. And believe it or not, after this podcast, my brother and I have to have a serious discussion. Like, what did you think of the car?
What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing? What's the story? Because I love that car. And my brother knows that car needs to be in the collection. So chances are we're going to be pulling the trigger on this. If he doesn't like it, chances are we're not going to pull a trigger on that.
Manual SMG.
It's a manual. No, we specifically want manual. I want manual. No, I want manual.
You have to.
Yeah, and it's that blue color.
Laguna Seca blue.
No, not Laguna Seca.
Say
there's that other blue. The other blue.
I think it's that darker blue.
That darker blue. Yes, it's that blue, and it's got the Kiwi seats on the interior.
Nice.
But you know what? Perfect car in so many ways. Had 2 previous keeper, and the current keeper has had the car for the past 8 years. Okay. So it's just one of those cars, man. It's making a lot of sense, and hopefully we can get it. But
subframe and stuff. Have you guys checked that?
Subframe was done.
Okay,
I believe subframe was done about 2 or 3 years ago. There's a whole breakdown of the car has.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
And funny story, Sav Speed, who is my BMW mechanic, is the guy who's worked on that car.
Okay, good.
He's known the car for the past 8 years.
You can't go wrong with Sav Speed.
Can't go wrong with Uncle Sav.
Those guys have been in the business, geez, bro.
30 years.
I was about to say, like
30
I
years,
remember when I was a
years.
kid, I used to see Sav Speed.
Sav Speed on the cars, yeah.
Okay,
so that's top, and hopefully we'll be pulling the trigger on that car. And then the other one that I went to go see, personal favorite, always like Golf 5 GTI. Never ever got to own one.
Oof.
Never got to own a Golf 5 GTI. When I was going to pull the trigger on a Golf 5 GTI many years ago, I ended up buying a Golf 6 GTI, which I had at DSG. I had it for 2 years. I sold it, but the reason why I sold it was because I always said, I will sell the Golf 6 to get into a Golf, I'll sell the GTI to get into a Golf 6R.
Okay.
Life happened. I never got into a 6R. But just so happened that this week, the other car that I went to go see was a 6R manual, low mileage. When I say low mileage, it's 80,000 Ks on the clock, a 2012 model.
That is low.
Yeah,
that is
very,
low.
very low. Very, very low.
Especially for those cars, because those cars, they're popular cars.
Very
People
popular
drive
cars. Yes,
those cars.
Exactly. So the reason why that car is also necessary is I need something to play around with here in Cape Town, like a front hook pass car, you know, nice hot hatch, nice small car,
manual
nice lacquer
as
car,
well.
manual car.
Connect with the car.
Yes, something like that. So the E46 will definitely be a Joburg car because my brother will obviously look after it. But at least when I get to Joburg, I'll be driving E46.
You'll be so excited to go to Joburg, bro.
So the 6R is definitely personal favorite, which will come here. That one I just need to iron out a few things to see if I can actually pull the trigger on that. That is my own pull the trigger, and this is one of the ones where my girlfriend just has to be strong.
Yeah, I was about to say, your girlfriend's, if she's watching this right now, you're in so much trouble. Because I'm just hearing E46, Golf R6.
There we go.
Ooh,
and then the third
trouble.
car is another city Golf. So I already own, this is the blue and white. I've got the red and white in Joburg, which is coming here quite soon. I need a yellow and white. So I went to go see a yellow and white yesterday.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Is there a story behind the city? Why the city? Okay, I know why the city. It's such an iconic car in South Africa as a whole, first of all.
Yes.
But I want to dig it a little bit deeper. Is there a story in the city for you?
On this specific one?
Just in general, actually.
You have to have a city Golf. You grew up in the late 80s. You were going to school in the 90s. Most of the cars that were dominating were city Golfs.
It was one of these.
When I was in high school, Velo just came out. There was a kid who had a Velo, and I was like, yo, Velocity. Yo.
That took over the...
I'm getting goosebumps.
That took over the
sound of that car, everything about it. So I was always a big fan of city Golf because I feel like I grew up with city Golf. City Golf raised me. I've always known city Golfs. I know all types of city Golfs, from the city shuttle right up to the deco. Then when they went to fuel injection and big windows, city.com, Velo, even the new guys, the Rocks and the City Sport. Like, because I know city so well, I feel as though I need to have the cities from the various eras. So red, yellow, blue was when we fell in love with city. I'm going to have all three. And then I need something that is more mid-tier, which is the blues or the deco, because that's in the 90s. And then I need something more modern. And that's obviously Velo.com or City Sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about some really nice cars. And I think the next time, when you're in Joburg you should actually give me a call, let me know, and can actually drive my E46.
Okay.
that I have.
Okay.
And let me know. I mean, let me know what you think of it. I mean, it's my baby. It's one of the things that I love with all my heart. I'm a big BM boy, a big car boy. As I said earlier, like the car right in front of us right now, I love it. Love this car.
You have to put it in context. Like, what do we have as a backdrop?
What do we have right now?
Behind,
guys,
as in like
one of my all-time favorite Audis. It's first gen, you could say. No. Second gen.
B6 RS4.
Yeah,
B7
RS4.
RS4. Sorry. So second
Guys,
gen.
the V8 in this
V8
car.
RS4 manual. Gorgeous car.
Beautiful car. And I think the rivalry with BMW and Audi at this time as well, because this is when they launched the E90.
Exactly.
M3.
Exactly.
The battle of the V8s. Oh,
this was the V8 battle for E92 M3 and then C63 AMG as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
The best sounding, in my opinion, don't kill me, guys. Best sounding V8.
The
old school
C63.
one. Best sounding. With a nice set of pipes. Oof.
It's a bit of a catch-22. I like the sound of a E92 M3. I think it's king in how they played that V8 sound, especially if they got the plenum. I think it just has that iconic V8
rasp
versus the C63's brute sound. Sometimes I feel like the 63's brute sound is too brute. It's too loud.
Fair enough. It is, because I think that's why I like it. I'm just being a boy right now. It's like, it's loud. Yes.
Yes.
Jeremy Clarkson power.
You know how it goes.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, I'd love to stay on cars. I'd love to stay. I mean, we could talk for hours on this, but Katie mentioned to me that you actually love art as well.
Ah, yes.
Let's talk a bit about it on that. Like, what medium do you enjoy the most? Let's start with that first question.
So,
you know what I mean?
the art part of my life is something a bit weird because I just sort of fell into it. My sister is an art dealer, art curator. She's been in the game for some time, and she also landed in the art game by chance, pure chance. She's an interior decorator by trade, and she was doing some interior decorating of somebody's house a couple of years ago. And this somebody told my sister about an artist called Nelson Makamu.
Oh, damn. Yeah. The legend.
Long story short, my sister ended up meeting Nelson and helping Nelson out on one of his apartments. And Nelson and my sister vibed. And Nelson was like, hey, listen, I need an artist manager. My sister was like, I don't know anything about artists. I don't know anything about management and whatever. So Nelson was like, come on this journey with me. Help me. I need a manager.
Damn, that is so cool.
And my sister was managing Nelson, I think, for 6 or 7 years.
Wow.
She managed Nelson for 6 or 7 years. So what happens? I have to help my sister out with some things. I have to take her here. I have to go help with a studio opening by Nelson, and then this, and then that, and then that's how I got into art. That's how I started learning about art, visual art. I understand how a lot goes into paintings. I understand how a lot goes into drawings, and I learned about sculptures as well from Nelson himself. Just being able to shoot the breeze with somebody like that. Mr. Makamu,
that's next level.
to be able to tell me about how
that's
art
a
works
blessing,
and
actually.
how things work, etc. I mean, that alone just it opened up my mind, brother. It opened up my mind. So I won't lie, I do have a fan favorite, and it's Makamu.
Don't worry, I think a lot of us are on that same trajectory. We all love him.
And I'm very fortunate to own a Makamu piece. But
I'm so jealous. It's like, you know how you're working towards, the cars, like that's, there's two people actually I'm working towards. This Fatwani Mukeli.
Oh, yes.
He's actually been on the podcast.
Yes.
And then I'm very blessed. I have 2 pieces or 3 pieces by Justice, his brother.
Oh, wow.
And then, Nelson. I need, when the time's right, I need to get, that's one thing I'm working on. I have to.
Funny story is both the brothers, I met them through Nelson.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, met them both through Nelson. They used to hang around a lot back in the day, and that's how I got to meet them. And even then, they were just pure artists with their photography skills. I mean, their photo skills are on another level. Stylish-wise, with the way they dress as well.
Oh, damn, yeah.
So I think it only made sense for them to then branch into the art space, and it's amazing to see what they've done.
They've really grown.
Just driving Porsche, dog.
Yeah,
I saw him the other day in Park View driving a Porsche. No, they've done extremely well.
How nice is his old school G-Wagon?
And his
Have you
G-Wagon
seen it?
It was done by Iron Lion. Funny story. Yes, I went to Iron Lion once, and they told me, "Oh, this is a client's car. It's a client's car." And you know how it is when you go to these places, and the owners are like, "Oh no, it's a client's car. It's a client's car." And then a couple of months later, I see it on Justice's Instagram. I was like, "Oh, that was Justice's car. What?
Wait a minute, it's your car."
What?
So cool.
Yeah, so it's really nice to hear see how this art world sort of comes together, and me opening up my mind to another way of, and I'm going to call it what it is. It's another way of investing. It's another way of promoting, and it's also another way of learning.
Yeah,
which is art. I mean, I like the fact that you can buy a piece now, and then in the next 5 years, it's going to be really valuable. Not that you're ever going to sell it. And it's exactly like that with the classic cars that you buy.
Yeah.
It's not that you're going to sell it. It's just that you know that you're buying something that's appreciating.
Yeah.
Other people are investing in Cetrix and S&P 500s, etc., which I think there's nothing wrong. But it's such a cool way to invest in people by using your hard-earned money to uplift the next artist. And the artist conversation then rolls into this guy I met also many years ago through another old colleague of mine, and then I get invited to his studio when Art Week was happening in Cape Town a few weeks ago. His name is Atang. Atang is an amazing sculpture artist. He does great sculpture work. Like, you look at the work and you think he does this with his hands. He's
like
sanding, he's cutting things up, he's gluing pieces of wood with. You think, or how does that concept come from the head onto a drawing and then into a physical sculpture? You think there's just no way a human being can do that. But that's what artists do. They show you that there's another way of doing things, and if you're talented with your hands, giving homage and paying homage to your talent is something that you always have to honor. And for me, as a black artist, when I see a black artist do that, I think they are gifted. Their forefathers are working through them, and they're getting to share a memory or a piece of their heritage through their grandchildren, or through the artists that we see today. Because I don't think their stories are just purely their stories. I think it's the stories of their forefathers.
Yeah, no, definitely. They definitely, it's kind of, I think it also goes back to probably the way they were raised as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're telling those stories of your childhood, you know what I mean? I think it's always going to be like that. It's the same thing with Fatwani. He draws a lot of women because of his mom, and his mom raising him, etc. You know, so it is. I agree with you 100%. You know, the stories are always deeper than this is just a drawing that I did.
It's just a piece you see. Yeah,
no, always. But I think that's with art in general. If you really dig into the piece, I'll never forget I was still very new into collecting and stuff like that, and I went to a gallery, and I understand it now. But back then I was like, could I maybe be in contact with the artist? Like, I'd like to ask him a bit more. Obviously not knowing that they were going to be like, definitely not. We're not going to give you the artist like email address. And like at the time I was like, why not, guys?
Why can't I connect with him?
Why can't I connect with him? But it was always that. I really wanted to kind of dig deeper and understand why did you create this piece?
Where did it come from? Great thing.
You have to.
Great thing. And to be able to at least access our favorite artists right now, we need to look at that as a blessing alone.
Yeah, that on is, yes, 100%.
Because
100%.
you hear about Kentridge, who was broke when he was alive. But now how much does a Kentridge cost right now?
Again, goosebumps.
Goosebumps again, exactly. Yeah. So there is that element of respect and give your artists the love they deserve.
Support your art, yes. Support them now.
Support them.
Now's the time to invest in the artists that you like.
Because when they die, then the stuff is also more expensive.
Exactly, and it's like you said, it's an investment. You mentioned the S&P 500. I saw a post the other day that the art industry. It was actually from it's a company. So what they do, I can't remember. I've got the name here, but it's like it's a website where you can register and you can buy shares into a Banksy, for example.
Oh, wow.
So you buy shares into the Banksy or whatever piece it is. So they posted on Instagram the art industry as a whole has outperformed the S&P 500 for I don't know how many years, but it's consistently outperformed the S&P 500.
Wow.
Consistently.
You're kidding me.
Consistently.
But it's ever growing. And I think the African art market is still untapped right now.
I think it's hard, it's like this much.
No offense
Tiny.
to Europeans, but African art is going to take over. And
Definitely.
these bloody colonizer Europeans, excuse me, it just also pisses me so much off. How many articles are you seeing more and more that all of these museums in Germany, in
the countries are asking for their pieces
they're
back.
sending all the pieces back because even them, 150, 250, 500 odd years ago, even them saw that Africa is
what we should be taking.
Is really the place to be when it comes to things like creativity, when it comes to things like honoring the natural resources that you get from here and making something out of it.
100%. Why do you think they took those things? It's as simple as that. People wouldn't take something if it wasn't of value.
Exactly.
Put it that way. It's simple.
Exactly.
The guys saw your dad's 320 as something of value, so they stole it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. And I agree with wholeheartedly, the pieces should be returned. Let them come.
All of them.
Europe needs to come to Africa to see the pieces. Instead of me getting on a plane, going to some, like you said, gallery in Germany to go view this artifact.
Yeah.
No, I should go to Kenya, Malawi, wherever it was, Congo, wherever the piece is from, I should go there and view it. Because it's only going to help the African countries as well. It's going to boost their tourism, etc., etc. So yeah, again, that's the beautiful thing about art also.
Well said.
It can become... It's such a deep topic. If we really get into it, it's such a deep topic.
It really is, yeah.
So let's get back into that first question. So in terms of medium, what do you enjoy the most? Sculpting, painting, photography? What do you find you more
it's definitely
attracted
painting.
to? Painting,
It's
okay.
It's definitely the paintings. You see a painting even on a street artist on the side of the road, and it evokes emotion in you. Yeah. Way more than a sculpted piece or photography is too biased because it's more about car photography. So I don't even want to add that in. But painting, visual painting, and even touching and feeling a painting. I remember the once I went to Makamo's studio, very random. I went to a Makamo studio. I was popping in because, oh man, we need to have a totally different conversation about Makamo's cars. Oh gosh.
I don't think I want to.
We're gonna have to get into that.
I do, but I don't because it makes me so sad. I want them.
We're gonna have to
such
get into
beautiful
that. But I
cars.
remember going there the once, and he was painting a picture of a boy, young king. I think he was calling it young king, and he was giving him a crown. Right? He's doing this kid's crown, and he's using gold flakes to do this kid's crown, and then he's got a chain on this kid, and he's using little pieces of gold flakes to put on the kid's gold chain. But what I was blown away with how he integrated pastels, chalk, black chalk, and then these gold pieces. And I'm like, how do you even get them to stick? And he's like, you make it work. You use the resources that you have, and you just make it work. And I remember thinking, I love the fact that even the story of how you put it together, all the different acrylics and the papers that you use, that alone has a story. So visual artistry it blows my mind away.
It's crazy that you say that because the first piece I ever bought, it was by a graffiti artist, Mars. He goes by the name Mars, but his actual name is George. I always call him George Mars, even though it's not the right way. But the way I know him, because I know his first name and I know his street name. So I just call him George Mars. I bought a piece that he did. It was a series of 3 women. He used stippling as a technique, etc., and then their dooks he did with actual material.
Oh, wow.
So instead of painting the dook, he took
cut pieces
of material and he made sure that there's actual flow to the piece. It is insane.
Dude,
now,
if you gifted, you gifted.
Bro, when I saw that, I was like, and we had walked that whole gallery broken. It was a huge gallery, Arta. It was close to Ellis Park.
Yes.
So we went there and we walked that whole gallery. We were like, no, can't find anything. As I was walking out, it was above. So let's say this door's here. It was right above the door. As I walked out, I was like, that's it.
You just connected to it.
Straight away, I looked at it and I was like, that's the one. And it was the last one in the whole series. Like I asked them, she was explaining, no, it was from a series, it was 3 different ladies, etc., etc. I was like, do you have the other 3 ladies? Because I'd like to get all 3, because I think that'd be really cool. She was like, no, this is the last one. I was like, okay.
Wow.
That's fine.
Brilliant.
And that's how, again, it goes back to what you were saying. It's amazing how, yes, it's a process, but you really have to think and push yourself. You're like, okay, damn, like he actually did this. And then it wasn't just, I'm going to go and paint this picture of a lady. No, so much deeper. You have to think of what you're going to do.
Exactly.
How you're going to do it. Where am I going to put this? I don't know. I always just get blown away. I'm the same as you said it now. It just blows me away.
Yeah.
Blows me away. What did you think of that collab with Mr. Mr. Makam? Almost used your surname. I was like, no. It would be cool if you did a collab with Porsche. What do you think about Nelson's collab with Porsche? That was crazy.
I love how you asked me, what did I think about it? Do you know how that happened? You're looking at it.
Oh, crazy. Damn.
You're looking at it. This kid right here.
Okay, we need to get into that.
So, a funny story. The City Golf comes into play here.
Okay.
I remember when I just bought the City Golf, again, another situation where I went to go visit Makamu. And I was like, man, I'm so excited. I just bought a new City Golf. It's a low mileage, 1991 City Golf. At the time, it had 55,000 kilometers on the clock.
Damn, that's so low.
And he's like, oh, we should paint that car. I'm like, what? No, you're not painting my car. And he's like, why not? Let's paint it. Why not? Let's do something cool on it. Do some nice stripes on the side or something. I was like, Nelson, you can't paint my car. And he's like, oh, okay, well, whenever you want me to paint, let me know. So I said, I got an idea. Why don't we find a car for you that you paint? And he says to me, you know what, dude? I've actually been thinking, I must get myself an E30, man. I mean, as a kid, we've always grown up liking E30s, man. Let's find an E30. I'm like, you serious? He's like, yeah, no, let's find an E30. Dude, weeks go by, life carries on. Random afternoon at home, somebody, I don't know if you know him, Chris Wall Media. Chris Wall, he's the photographer.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I think we were on a group together. There was like a car group we were on together. He sends this link of a 320i BMW Bauer for sale in George, out of all places. I open it and I see it. I'm like, see, this car's so nice. I'm like, oh, Nelson, let me send this to Nelson. I send it to Nelson. Nelson also thinks nothing of it. Just responds back, this is cool. Should we get it? So I respond back,
yes.
I'm happy to check it out. Can I check it out? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Now I'm like, okay, the car's in George. I'm in Joburg. What do I do now? Trusted old friend of mine, CJ Southern Stance. I don't know if you know CJ.
No.
Photographer, videographer, very cool car guy. He stays in George. I call CJ, I say, hey CJ, there's a situation here, right? Here's a car. I need you to go see this car. Video call me when you get to this car. He's like, okay, sharp, no problem. Arrangements happen. Following day, CJ is in Sedgefield, Nogal. It wasn't even in Georgia, it was just outside there, Sedgefield. CJ took the drive for me. He goes there, checks the car out, we video call. Long story short, we take in the car. I phone Nelson, I say, Nelson, pay for this car. Nelson pays for the car. Monies go through. Me and the Bali who sold the car say, boss, I'm in Joburg. If you're okay with keeping the car for the next week or so, I'll arrange next week to come and collect the car. The Bali says, no problem, take your time. But the car sat there 3 weeks. I was just so busy. Nelson was so busy. Life was happening. And I remember the one, it was a public holiday. It was in September. Whenever that public holiday is in September. I woke up on that morning and I was like, I think I had a voiceover the following day and that voiceover was cancelled. And I woke up that morning and I said, you know what? I'm going to George. Damn it, I'm going now to George. Literally. Booked a flight, got onto a Gautrain, onto the plane, landed in George. CJ fetches me. It's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, bro. Drive straight to this yard. We get to this yard. They open the warehouse. There's like 16, 18 other cars in there, bro. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Stumbled upon another collection. Oh gosh. Beautiful cars. Old school American classics. El Caminos. E23 7 Series 745. Dude, gorgeous cars. And right there at the entrance is this beautiful 320i red Bauer silver bumper. Gorgeous, gorgeous car. presented itself actually better in real life than on the pictures and the videos that we're doing with CJ.
And you don't see that every day.
I take the car, go over to CJ's house. We buy a couple of beers, we relax. I'm staying over for the night. We're watching Champions League games. It's chill, dude. Drinking, watching Champions League. In the morning, wake up. CJ, thank you so much. I hit the road, brother.
And you drove it back.
Outeniqua Pass.
Damn.
Long story short, I was actually going through a very messy breakup at the time. And I remember saying, I'm going to take this drive to clear my head. And that is exactly what I did. Took a beautiful drive up. About 150 Ks outside of Bloemfontein. I decided to stop. Mechanical issue with a car. Yeah. Anyway, towed the car into Bloem, stayed over in Bloem, made a really cool plan to fix the car and drove it and made it to Joburg by that afternoon. Had to postpone my voiceover, by the way, to the following day. But
the sacrifices you make for cars.
It was the sacrifice. Nelson saw the car, loved the car, right? I parked the car at Nelson's studio and again, things just go silent. Things go quiet. Nothing happens. Life carries on. And then I remember Nelson was doing an opening. A couple of months later, there was an opening happening at Nelson's studio in Elof Street. And again, I say to Nelson, how, brah? Your car needs to feature there by the opening. Yeah, I mean, we can park it outside in the parking lot. We can cordon it off. Then he's like, yeah, but you said you would get me. Oh, I told Nelson I'll get him a bonnet from a scrapyard, and he could paint this bonnet, and then we could always just put the E30 bonnet on the E30. Do you understand? Just so we can
I remember seeing that actually.
Interplay on this bonnet situation. So he says, good idea. But me being me, I'm so busy with my own life. He's busy with his own life. Do you think I ever got a bonnet? Never did I get a bonnet, right?
Didn't he? He did eventually paint it.
Now,
right?
coming towards this show, I go to him, I'm like, brah, I'm not going to let you paint this bonnet on this car. But I need your car involved here. So he's like, no, well, you make a plan. You're the one that looks after this car, so you make a plan. You do something. Yes, dude. I make plans, bro. I make plans. I get Nelson to get me a high res of one of his paintings. I go to one of my printers. I say, boss, I need this on vinyl. Print this thing on vinyl. Dude, I remember even, the funny story was I did measurements on an E30 bonnet, but not on Nelson's E30 bonnet. I actually did it on an imported 325i E30, which I thought bonnet sizes were the same because measurements.
Even now, I'm thinking to myself,
I send it to my guy. They print it. I go to Nelson's car. I'm trying to now stick this on Nelson's car. It's too small. We printed it wrong. We had to reprint again. I had to do new measurements and whatever. Bruh, I had to do this in a space of a week because the opening was on a Thursday or a Friday. Long story short, we managed to get this vinyl printed of his painting, and we parked it there. It was a hit. You know when something is just a hit? And I remember seeing Nelson. We met up here in Franschhoek for also another different story for another day. And I remember the first thing, we hadn't seen each other after that opening for a couple of months. And then we see each other here in Cape Town. I was here for business. He was here on business. And we somehow linked up. Oh, you in Cape Town, we in Cape Town. Let's link up in Franschhoek for a dinner. Do you know what was the first thing he said to me when I walked in there by the dinner? He's sitting there by the dinner table. And I walk in. I'm like, hey, boss man, how are you? How's it? He's like, Jay, how's it? Then we sit down and he says, hey, bro, that E30, bro. That E30. I'm like, your E30. He's like, no, your idea. I'm like, no, dog.
It's not your car.
He's like, I'm not taking that vinyl off. I'm like, oh, well, that means I still have to organize that. I must organize that bonnet for you to paint. And I'm like, yo, bro, can you believe it? We couldn't believe it. And the reason why I also went for that was because at the time, Nelson was an ambassador for BMW South Africa. He was driving BMWs. It only made sense for the collab to happen. Fast forward to another year or so later. Nelson comes to me and says, boss, are we allowed to swear on this podcast?
Please fucking swear on the podcast.
He said, Jake, I need a fuck off car. I need a fucking badass car. What can we get now? I'm like, say less. At the time, the previous generation M5 had come out. And I said, you're a Beamer boy. Let's drive M5. Let's organize to drive M5. He says, okay, sure. Let's organize. Now, me being me, I know the big dogs at BMW SA. And I said to them, hey guys, please send Makamo a BMW M5. They sent him X6M competition,
Ooh.
X3M competition. Oh, X3M,
damn.
he had to come here for business. They sent him an X3M competition to drive here. And then they gave him an M5 for 2 or 3 days. He comes back to me and he's like, whoa, that's amazing. So I was like, okay, so what's the story? You want to
Which one?
You want to pull the trigger on this car? What's the story? So he's like, okay, I think I want to pull the trigger on the M5. I'm like, say less. Let me go talk to my BMW guys. I go to my BMW guys. I say, guys, look, Makamo's your ambassador already. Hang 10 on him having to spend the money on buying the car. Give him the M5 for about 3 to 6 months. Let him enjoy it. Let him understand it. And maybe we can also work something, man. Maybe the interior on the M5. Like,
let him add his touch.
Yeah, on the one that he's going to buy. Let's take it to the next level. And you know what? Unfortunately, having life work the way life works, BMW was in a bit of a transition. Their boss at the time, Deirdrick, an amazing guy. I don't think he understood the idea and the plan that I was sort of presenting to him. And BMW AG in Munich, I don't think they also got it, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think it was pushed hard enough. But they came back to me and said, we don't know how we can help with that. We don't know how we can try and get Nelson to customize his BMW. And then I went back to Makamo and I said, Makamo, you know what? Before we pull the trigger on an M5, which is going to be a plain Jane M5, even if you'd go for an individual color, it's going to be too plain Jane for you.
Yeah.
Let me give my friends at Porsche a call. I call my homie, Christo Kruger. He's the head of PR and comms at Porsche South Africa.
Okay.
Good friend of mine. I say, Christo, hoe gaan het met oom? He says, I'm all right. What's happening? I say, I'm coming for a coffee. I come, I sit down, I have a coffee. Tell him the whole story. He's shaking. I'm like, Christy, what's wrong? He says, I'm a big fan of Makamo. I'd love to meet Makamo. I said, no problem. Let's organize.
Let's do it.
Long story short, I had Makamo there in about a month. We were speccing a 911, 992, when 992 just came out. We were speccing. Nelson knows fuck all about a spec. They're like, tachometer here. I'm like, hey, you must go for a yellow tachometer here. We're not going for any other color. He says, okay.
That's fine.
Nelson says, okay. They're like, sound system here. I'm like, hey, we're going for the best here. We're going for the best.
It's got to be the Bose.
We're going for the best, Baba. No, it wasn't even. Yeah, it is the Bose.
Yeah,
It is
Bose.
the
At that
Yes.
time, they were doing
There was a lower tier offering there. And I was like, nope, we're going for the best.
Yeah.
And I remember the guy who was speccing it for us at the time, Marno, was like, no. A lot of the customers don't usually go for the Bose sound system, which is super expensive because it's so expensive they don't want to go for it. But the only other guy that I've ever had to spec for who wanted the sound system was Nati. Oh, we like Nati, black coffee. He says, yeah. We're like, no. Oh, we
want it as well then.
We want the same. Don't worry, we want the same. So we spec this car, the most amazing spec. And exactly how I wanted it to play out, it played out. Because I said to Christo, give us some leeway to do something customized. We worked on an amazing proposal. It got sent to Stuttgart. It came back with thumbs up. We were able to now highly customize a car. The first time a 992, in fact, the first time a 911 or any Porsche got to be customized by an artist was this South African one-of-one Porsche. Dude, they sent him the hard backs of the car. They sent him the pieces, the straps that you put on the dashboard, the door sills,
bumper as well, rear bumper,
the back bumper, the rear bumper, the mirror covers as well.
I remember.
So the car gets made, but then those pieces were taken off and they were sprayed white. They were sent here.
Damn.
And I remember sitting with Nelson, coming into the studio after a crazy night of drinking with my buddies. I Uber straight to the studio and this dude is busy painting. And I remember the one day I rocked up there, like, I'm drunk. I'm like, hey, gents, what's happening? Because I knew that they were shooting and they were there. So I was like, I'm going to come past and say, what's up? I get there and I see the bumper and I'm like, yo, Nelson, this is so cool. You're drawing these people here. So these people are all looking at the 911. He's like, yeah, how nice is this? So I'm like, no, but something's wrong here, man. He's like, what? I'm like, hang on one second. I turn the bumper upside down. I'm like, bro, you're painting this bumper wrong. It's fucking upside down. He's like, no,
Hey.
I'm like, yeah, you see it. I'm like, the entire crew, people who were recording this, I'm like, you guys can't see? What the fuck is wrong with you? Nelson's like, ish. Christo's there also. He's like, ew. What are we going to do now? Now, there's a pause now. Now, that bumper must go back to Germany. We must wait for another bumper to come back now. Now,
Oh,
let's
damn.
come back. So the thing was supposed to be a total of 6 weeks. I think we had to do it in like, it was, I think, 10 or 11 weeks of Nelson painting. Remember, he has to do his life in between all of this.
Yeah.
So only a couple of nights in the week, he sits and he starts working on his 911 work. At the same time, we need those pieces back we need those pieces back at Porsche South Africa, because that Porsche is coming to South Africa and it has to be put together. But those pieces have to be clear coated. They have to be done right. So lots of pressure. We finally get the pieces done. And yeah, voila. The one of one Nelson Makamo Porsche is built, and it is officially delivered to him. I remember the delivery was on a Friday night. Also, one of those deliveries that we had to play. Also, those deliveries that we had to play as like very, very closed. Toby Fenter himself did the handover. Myself, my sister, the guys who were recording the whole project, Francisco and Richard were there. Christy was obviously there, and Nelson's partner, Kia, she also came along. So it was very intimate. We had some champagne, and when he saw the car for the first time,
I can imagine.
Mind blown. I've never seen a man who's so humble and so chilled close to tears. He was close to tears. He was so blown away.
Because think about it. I mean, it's like you said, that was the first. It's never happened before.
It's the first ever time anyone's been given that.
To say that I got to do that, it's next level. I remember that for a while. I think even internationally, that post.
Oh no!
That thing blew up everywhere.
Porsche North America, Porsche rest of Africa, Porsche UAE, Porsche in Germany, Porsche in the US. North America was actually the most amazing on that project, because they were pushing it quite hard from the socials as well. So big up to them, because they knew and understood what was going on there.
There's BM kicking themselves hard.
I tried.
No, you did. Of course you did. But I'm just thinking, if I was head of BM at that stage, I'd have been like, okay. We fucked this one up.
No, they messed it up royally. But the nice thing is, Nelson's still a boykie. Still loves his E30. He still loves his Beamers. He actually went on to buy, not long after the Porsche, he went on to buy a new shape 240i. I told him he has to get 240, don't play. And then he got a Cayenne as well. So he's got the best of both worlds.
He's got a good little collection going on there. Definitely,
it's the best of both worlds. When I'm done with my VWs and my Beamers, it's definitely Porsche, bro. There's a Porsche that I need in my collection as well.
I think we all have that bad boys Porsche.
Oh,
I hope I'm wrong right now when I say this. I don't think I'll ever get one. Maybe I really do hope I'm wrong. But if I can, I don't want to hear about any other Porsche.
964.
Oh,
I've already made peace with the fact that it won't be the bad boys one, the 3.6 turbo. But I'm okay.
Never say never.
Give me a 964 Carrera. You know why? Because I know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna slam it on the floor. I'll put VDS RSs. I know exactly what I'm gonna do with that car.
You've got it in your mind already.
Red or black, Baba. It's done.
Red would be nice.
Red
would be nice because it's got the black trims already. The black would also be nice. Exactly. Murdered out. It could be nice. Okay, then again, this is what I also love about, like, it's a love-hate thing with the podcast, because if we really get into a lot of the topics, we could sit and talk for, like, I understand why Joe Rogan has 3-hour podcasts.
Oh, no, of course. We could
go on forever. I really get it. You can actually go on forever with this stuff. Let's touch a bit on, because I know you're a sneakerhead. Let's touch on that.
2013, bought my first pair of MX-1s. I just loved MX-1s, bro. They were always that shoe that did it for me.
And comfortable.
Very comfortable.
2013,
bought my first pair of MX-1s. I'm still sad that I lost those shoes. I don't know what happened to them. Things happen.
Yeah, life.
Currently now own about 45 pairs of MX-1s. Almost 20 pairs, 18 pairs of MX-90s. And then I've got all the MX-0s. So I've got 3 pairs of MX-0s. And then I have another bunch of other sneakers, a couple of Asics, a couple of Reeboks.
I was about to say, it sounds like you're quite a big, and let me make sure I get it right, Nike.
Yeah.
Not Nike.
I'm a Nike fanatic.
You're a Nike fanatic.
I'm a Nike fanatic. And I remember when it sort of accelerated, I remember reading Shoe Dog, Phil Knight's book or biography, the founder of Nike. I remember reading his biography, and I remember saying to myself that I don't blame myself for being so crazy. I really don't. I don't blame myself for liking these sneakers so much. Thinking about what went into these sneakers and reading about that.
Literal blood, sweat, and tears, you could say.
Man. Oh. So yeah, my sneaker thinking is based around MX and specifically MX1. It's been an ever-growing collection. I'm actually banned from buying shoes at the moment.
Banned by who, if I may ask?
My significant other.
So you can buy cars, but no more sneakers. Actually, you can't buy cars.
I basically can't buy anything. I basically can't buy anything. But I've also felt like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I feel like the wave of sneaker drops and having the best of best with the sneakers, I feel like it's sort of dipped.
Big time.
Because I remember being that kid who was at Shelf Life or sending my buddy to Lemkus or trying to get my hands on the drops. And I remember also being disappointed with some drops.
Yeah,
and
some.
And
with a lot of drops.
And I remember also there was a time I went we were 8 guys, bro. The Atmos Elephant MX1 was getting dropped at the old Shelf Life in Rosebank. Shelf Life had literally just opened here. And I remember saying, I'm going with 8 guys, and we're all ready to buy. They're all there for me, so I can get that Atmos Elephant. And I remember arriving there, getting our raffle, and we're all just chilling, relaxing. And I was sure that one of us is going to get it. Out of 8 people, one of us will definitely get it.
The odds are
right?
pretty high.
And then I remember seeing Danny K. Danny K. walking here, got to the door there by Shelf Life, waved at one of the guys. That guy waved back. The guy came, opened the door, and he just said to Danny, no, sure, don't worry, got you. Turn around, Danny K, and Danny K left. And I don't know if you know Keys Art Mile. We parked on the road, Keys Art Mile.
Yeah.
And I remember Danny walked, he got into an old Land Cruiser, and he drove away. He's gone. Danny K's gone. The next day, needless to say, I didn't get the raffle didn't come my way.
As many people didn't.
The raffle didn't come my way. And I remember the next day on Instagram, and I don't even follow bloody Danny K. But as you would have it, on my Explore page, I see a picture of somebody with Atmos Elephants, right? I go in there, it's Danny K. He had posted it 3 hours before. And he said, so happy to have
my new babies.
My new babies. And I was like, no ways. That guy knows somebody on the inside. I don't know anyone on the inside. I'm actually not going to put my heart and soul and my hard-earned money into this. If the sneaker comes to me, it will come to me.
Yeah.
If not, it wasn't meant for me. But I was very fortunate. My sister is married to, my brother-in-law is American.
Okay.
Born and raised in New York.
So now you sorted.
So a lot of my sneakers are actually from that side. Because that side, there's no problem.
Not at all. And none of what's going on, or I don't know if it's still going on in SA. I'm sure it still is. But none of what's going on here in the sneaker industry happens there. I'm sure there is a bit every now and then for the really big releases, etc., etc. But I think they actually cater for those people in the US market because they probably know, like, there's this big reseller in New York. Yeah. So let's just make sure they get their pairs.
Make sure they get their pairs. And somehow, in the long run, that's how I end up getting the pairs that I get. Dude, I'm very fortunate with my collection. I mean, there's one car, one shoe, the Sean Weatherspoon that I have.
I saw it on your Instagram. Yeah,
that for me is like holy grail, and
Definitely.
how I got it is probably also the most amazing thing. Mr. Makamo.
Oh,
Mr.
crazy.
Makamo was funny enough a very integral part of me getting that shoe.
Nice.
On one of his USA escapades, managed to secure that shoe for me.
Nice. That's awesome.
Also, right place, right time. He walked into Flight Club.
And they were there.
He saw the shoe, sent a picture to me, and he's like, what do you think of these? And I was like, dog, you need to cop those for me, bro. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, buy them for me. He's like, cool. I got you. I got them.
Crazy.
And that's how I got them. And that's how easy it was. But I'm just saying, I was so fortunate to be able to get the shoes that I have right now because of not getting too deep with this sneaker reselling and
But why do you think it's dipped? Why do you think it's dipped? Myself personally as well. Like and it's not even just that. I remember I got the Kendrick, the house shoes.
Yeah?
Got them also proper on Nike one, like it was 100% normal, right? So I got them, I think it was 1.4 when they came out. Normal price. A couple of weeks later, there's a guy selling a pair for 5. And I was like, don't get me wrong, guys. Please make your money, do business, blah, blah, blah. But come on.
Come on.
More than 100%. It's like 100 and something, 200% markup.
Come on.
Again, me as well in that same mindset as you just said. I'm not going to take my hard-earned money and now go pay 3-4 times the price of a sneaker when it launched.
No, it's ridiculous.
It doesn't make sense. And
It's
yes, I've got
ridiculous.
no problem with guys making their money. Do your business. Yes, 100%. But that's what killed my, because I love sneakers, but that's what killed my love for sneakers was, oh shit, I didn't get it on the drop. Cool, let me go to whatever store. Okay, shit, it's double the price now.
There we go.
No, I don't. Why? Why must I do that? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's going to go up in value. Some as well. They're going to go up in value. Yes, 100%. But a lot of them, if you're a true sneakerhead like myself and you wear your sneakers, you don't leave them in a box. I wouldn't say you're not a true sneakerhead if you leave them in a box. I get the appreciation, etc., etc. But I'm a firm believer in you need to wear them.
No, of course. Of course.
You have to wear them. Sooner or later, you have to wear them. It's a sneaker. It's like having a car. In my personal opinion, it's like having a car and not driving it. If you're not going to drive your car, don't buy it.
You should pull it out now and again.
Yeah,
That's
definitely. Special occasion, like your Weatherspoons.
Yeah.
Not saying wear them every day.
No, Witherspoon only comes out on MX Day.
Yeah,
that's
there
the
you
only
go.
time I wear it. Yeah.
Wear it. Make sure you enjoy that sneaker. Because if you don't, one day you're going to look at it. Eventually, it's going to fall apart.
Don't say
Maybe
that.
not now. It is.
Please don't say that. I don't want to hear that.
I'm sorry, but it is. If you look at those old Japanese videos of like the 1985 Jordans and stuff, they're falling apart.
Stop saying that.
Sorry. But you have to enjoy your sneakers. And I think that's what, for me, I'm the type of person, like with my cars, you can ask Katie, I drive my cars. Like,
You give
hard.
Oh, nice.
I drive them. I make sure. Like, I don't want to break them, but I drive them. I enjoy them. My sneakers, I wear them. I feel like that's just the way it is. You know,
Wow.
it should be that way.
These are worldly things at the end of the day, and you don't live forever, brother. So
Exactly.
for as long as you can attain and enjoy, do it.
Yeah.
Don't limit yourself. Don't
Definitely.
ever limit yourself and
No.
say, no, I'll keep this for another day. Listen, I should also take my own advice. I got a couple of MX ones that I haven't even
You don't
put on.
wear.
I haven't even put them on. They're still in boxes. They're still on ice.
But
I
then
just need
again,
to
you have a
pull them
large
into-
connection.
I have to
So-
pull them into rotation. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
My rotation is about 20. Yeah, I run between about 20 sneakers at the moment. I have to do a complete re-change of my current rotation. Then at least I'll be rocking a different pair of sneakers. But I just haven't had time to do a new rotation.
But that makes sense. Like in your situation, it does make sense. You've got a large collection of sneakers. There's not enough days in the week to wear them, even if you wanted to. You know what I mean? Like if you have 40 pairs of, what did you say? I think it was
MX ones.
MX ones.
Yeah.
That's more than a month. So even if you wanted to try rotate through them, it's going to take you some time. So in that situation, it is a bit different. But yes, you do need to enjoy them. I do believe you do need to put them on and enjoy them. And there's nothing cool, like better than when you put on a nice sneaker and like, oof, such a nice sneaker. And you're
Yeah.
like, yes, I know.
I
this.
know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I know exactly what you mean. My girlfriend, a very funny story. We're dating 3 years now. As late as December, now in December, for 1 week. So we were in Joburg for one whole week, right, with our family. Obviously, I saw her every day. For that entire week, she saw me with a new sneaker. She was like, I don't know this one. I don't know this one. I don't know. The one I even came with it, and I was like, look, it's even dirty. I didn't just buy it. It's dirty.
It's dirty. I've worn this before.
But that's because I was moving the last of my sneakers from Joburg to Cape Town.
Okay. I
So it
see.
was another rotation that I hadn't touched in years, bro. So in December, I mean, we're in March right now. In December, my chick was still seeing me with new sneakers. And I can tell you even now, even in the collection that I have in our little apartment in Rondebosch now, there's still sneakers there that she hasn't seen.
Damn.
Yeah.
For the love of sneakers, guys.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's bad.
All time, what's that grail sneaker for you?
Definitely the Witherspoon, without a
Okay.
doubt. I also have a very special shoe which I liked. Also, one of the resellers found it for me by chance. The Kiss of Death.
I don't know it.
It's the clot with it's like a cream beige shoe, and then it's got a clear. This part here is clear. It's an MX MX1. Also, it's clear here. You have to have it with an orange sock. So it's cream white with orange bits and orange laces, and here it's clear. So the orange sock is what you see here. You have to wear it with an orange sock.
Yeah.
And then the reason why it's called a clot is because it links up with the old Chinese acupuncture. So if you look at the shoe underneath, it's got that gum sole underneath, and it's got the shape of a foot. But on the inside, on the sole, it's got all the important acupuncture touch points.
That is crazy.
Fantastic shoe, fantastic. And because of that history of it, I knew I had to get one. And I remember Flight Club in New York. That's where we saw the shoe first time. Myself and my buddy saw the shoe at the first time, and I was like, what is this? What the hell? And it was in the glass box. It was the unattainable shoe. I mean, I'm in the US on a budget, bro. I'm not buying expensive sneakers, right? And I remember seeing that shoe and saying, one day I'm going to get it. So they did a rerun of that, and I was very fortunate that they did the rerun because that's when I was able to get it. I paid premium price, but I mean, I wanted that shoe.
Exactly, yeah.
And I've had that shoe maybe 5-7 years. I've only worn it twice. It's a special occasion kind of shoe.
It is. I believe in that 100% as well. There's certain sneakers that you only wear certain, that makes complete sense. But I'm glad you wear your sneakers.
What's your grail? Are you a Jordan boy?
I don't know what it is with me, but I'm not really brand loyal.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to a lot of stuff, like even cameras, for example, cars, again, like I love Audis, I love BMs, I love Golfs. But in terms of sneaker, I don't know. That's a really good question. I think because I have the Nike Para.
Yes, of course.
I've got the tracksuit.
Oh.
The full tracksuit.
Matching tracksuit for a Para. What's your shoe size? You want to start
9.
with a Para?
Well, I mean, if you have it, I think I might say yes, because I have the tracksuit top to bottom. I've always wanted the sneaker, not the second. They did 2.
Yes.
I wanted the original one.
Yes.
I wanted that one. I've always wanted that one.
No way.
Always wanted it because I have the tracksuit. I'd love to one day wear top to bottom.
Where did you get the tracksuit?
I was in Amsterdam, and it was like this random little secondhand thrift store type thing, bro. And I was still skeptical. I was like, no, this is probably not the original. And she's like, no, I can bring you the dust bag that it comes with. It comes in, like a suit.
Yeah.
So it comes in a full bag, like a suit.
You're kidding.
I'll send you pictures.
I'll
send you pictures when I get home. I'll send you pictures. Yeah, full tracksuit. It comes with a dust bag. It's got the Para, Nike, everything. Even the zip. The zip of the dust bag is a Nike zip.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'll send you pictures when I get home. I'll send you pictures.
If you ever want to sell, I'm your guy.
I don't know, hey. It doesn't fit me anymore. A little bit of mkaba,
I can get into
it would fit you, actually.
I can get into the gym. It's fine.
I think it would fit you. I think it might
call
fit
your
you.
price, man.
I wore it in the one when we presented at the underground, the first piece, Heavy as the Head. That jacket that I was wearing, that was part of the Para tracksuit. Yeah.
Bruh, I need it.
Full tracksuit.
I need it.
I can't sell.
And I even know where to go get my Para sneaker.
Have you got the Paras?
No, I don't. But
you know where.
Story in Cape Town has one.
I know Story. Shout out to Story.
Story's
got some.
And their
nice
price
stuff.
is decent on that thing. I mean,
is it?
They've been bringing their price down.
What size are you?
I'm a UK 8.5, but some of my shoes are 9.
You shouldn't have told me that the Paras at Story now. I might just go there and get it.
That's not for you. It's for me. I've been watching that thing for. It's been 9 months. I've been watching that shoe.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I gotta go to Story quickly.
No, you don't do that. You don't.
I'd say that's my grail, if I'm being honest. Just because I'd like to complete I don't really like the second iteration, if you call it that. I don't really like that one.
No, the OG Paras is the one.
The OG Paras, bro. If I can get those, I got the full tracksuit. I got the sneaker. I've
never met anyone with that tracksuit.
I was randomly just walked into the store, and then I saw it there, and I was like, also went through a bunch of things, and I saw that, and I was like, holy shit! Like, I don't have the sneaker, but if I can get this tracksuit, boom, I got the.
It'll force you to get the sneaker.
Yeah.
Okay, well, time to let it go now.
I don't know. It goes back to that whole thing of like a classic car. You can say you're going to buy an IS because it's going to go up in value. You're not going to sell that IS.
Yeah, that's true.
Go jump in a lake. You're not selling that IS. You're not selling that dolphin shape M3. No. Well, if it's me, that's the way I am. Like myself and my brother did something similar to what you're doing with your brother now. We went in together on an IS.
Oh, beautiful.
And I think my brother would let go of it a lot easier than I would, because in my mind, I'm like, we're never selling this. I don't care what you say. I don't care how much we get. This is never good. Our kids are going to drive in this thing one day. Wow. That's the type of person I am. I'm very sentimental when it comes to, if I really love something, like there's no money. I wouldn't say no money, but no, there isn't.
You can't put value on it. Yeah.
Even my E46 M3, I sent a video. I've got a friend that worked at BMW as well. He knows a guy that's got like a really crazy connection. Got M2 CS, M5, X, like a serious collection. He's a doctor. I sent him pictures of my E46. No, he actually saw it. It was actually at my brother's house. It was there on charge. And he saw it. And he asked me how much I want for it. I was like,
no value.
There's not for sale. I don't care. I love it too much. There's still things I need to do to it as well. Like, no, not for sale. Oof. So I think that's my problem. My problem.
So there has to be a link up when we're in Joburg again.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you might need to come fetch me with your 46.
No, that definitely. I thought you were talking about the tracksuit.
No, obviously, so we can go get the tracksuit, pal.
My E46 is out of tires. There's no tires left. I can't pick you up. No, but maybe you never know. Maybe I'll let go of it one day. But yeah, that's my Grail sneaker. But I think it's coming to, like I said, we can carry on for hours and we can talk. But I want you to enjoy your Saturday as well and not be here the whole day. So we're getting into the part of the video now where we actually discuss the burger. So today we had burgers from Zuni's on Clove Street, obviously in Cape Town. Where else would it be?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think go for it. You give your review first.
First of all, thanks for the lunch, gents.
No, it's a pleasure.
That was a solid burger. Really liked the flavors of the patty, how it was done. Slight overdoing on the patty, in my opinion, which I think played on it being a little too dry at some point. But everything else, the onions and the gherkins that came with it, they helped to rejuvenate or rejuice it up. I was not pleased with the bun. I think the bun was like yesterday's buns. And I think the buns actually undersold that burger. I think it deserved way much more because of what went into that patty. And unfortunately, the bun... it undersold the burger. It underplayed the poor burger.
Again, I agree with you 100%. It's like the patty is the best of the best, and then the bun was like, oh shit, we don't have buns. Let's go get buns quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I feel like with a patty that good, you really need to make sure that your bun is. I mean, it's a Wagyu burger. You're getting the best of the best meat. But then the patty, it's not like, I mean, the bun is, it's not like it was completely terrible. It was okay. It wasn't also amazing. But I feel like there's a little bit of work to do on that bun. I've had much better buns on a burger before. Yeah. I love saying that. I've had much better buns.
Much better buns. I love that. That's hilarious.
But it was a good burger though. Overall, it was a good burger. I think it was a little bit hyped up because everybody's been going there.
But it's on all the socials.
All the socials blowing up everywhere. But it's a good burger. Definitely a good burger. I would give it out of 10. I think I'd give it a 7, purely based on, like what you said, that bun just wasn't doing any justice to that patty and the overall package. What would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it a 6 out of 10. And if the burger patty was done better, I would have actually given it an 8.
A little bit overcooked.
Yeah, I would have actually given it an 8. But 6 out of 10, unfortunately. Because I think with a little more thought process on that, it could have been a far better burger. Yeah.
Beautiful. Katie, what do you give it? 6.5.
6.5 from
Love it. Love it.
Yes.
It's that juice. It's
it
that
lacked the
overcooked.
juice. That's why it was a bit too dry. That's
Just-
why I said it was too dry.
The patty itself was just overcooked, and I've seen like that's a problem a lot of places have in general. Like we don't actually realize that you don't have to cook a patty for long. No?
Yeah. A few
Yeah.
times you're done.
A little
yeah.
bit and you're good, you know. But overall, very good burger. I'd have one again. I wouldn't rush to go get another one. But yeah, I'd have one again. So Katie 6.5. I said a 7.
I said 6.
You said 6. Not bad. Good overall rating. But yeah, again, Jacob, thank you so much for taking time out of your weekend. I really, really, really do appreciate this. It means a lot to me.
Thanks,
It's something
Nix.
I'm starting. I'm very passionate about this. I really love doing this. And yeah, so it's crazy. I can't believe this, guys. I'm sitting here in Cape Town at the Cars.co's studio. It's like, man, I never thought this would be possible. Like, I never in a million years thought I'd actually be doing this. Oof, I'm even running out of breath. Shit. But it's yeah, again, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you, Katie, for also taking time out of this. And yeah, I really do appreciate it. And thank you for you guys. Thank you so much for, if you've watched this long, you're the last number goats. Please do like, share, subscribe. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next episode. See you guys soon. Peace. Nice.